The Cretaceous Desert Park is officially finished and I am about to take you for the tour. We are about to see every corner of this park that features 38 different species of prehistoric animals. So sit back and enjoy as we explore this fully finished and detailed park that took me so long to build. Hello guys, this is Caesar Creates and welcome back to my channel. In front of you, you can see the finished Desert Cretaceous Park, and today it is time for a final tour. I cannot wait to show you every corner of this park. It features 38 different species of prehistoric animals that were brought back to life. It took me around 16 episodes to finish, and it is built on the San Diego map. As you guys can see, this is this characteristic beach and like the ocean that this map features. I really love it. But yeah, without any further ado, let's just hop to the first person mode next to the entrance of the park to show you everything. So I thought that it would be a nice idea if our guests actually arrived and the first thing that they could see is actually this fountain, but behind this fountain there is this amazing view for the ocean that I wanted to make like a very big attraction. So we have a lot of those viewing points that the guests can just walk up to and just look at this amazing view of the ocean. The entrance is sort of like in the middle. I thought that the guests would be just arriving by, for example, some underground train, or maybe there's like an underground parking lot and the entrance for the cars is somewhere in the back, or we just cannot see it, and so on. So we have like a main plaza or a main street in here. We can choose to go to the left or to the right, and I think we'll go to the right and make it like a clockwise tour. So in here we have shops, we have restaurants. So for example, here we have like a seafood restaurant with some seating, so the guests can choose to sit in here with this amazing view. Okay, so let's continue further. We won't go to all of the shops, we won't just, focus on that too much, but because what we want to see are the dinosaurs, just as we can see in the distance. This is the Alamosaurus, and this is the first exhibit that we'll see on our tour. We can actually enter the this lovely little viewing gallery, and probably we'll see more of the dinosaurs, because besides the Alamosaurus that we can see, I remember that there's also Homocephaly and the Pentaceratops, but we just cannot see them right now. Maybe in this viewing tower we'll be more lucky. So let's just hop into it. I am not a huge fan of it because of the chain link, but maybe, yes, there is a Pentaceratops back in there, as you guys can see. So like 5 of them or something. And the Homocephaly should also be here somewhere. Yes, it is here. There's a lot of them, but they are tiny, so this is so hard to spot them. But yeah, this is our first like a herbivore enclosure. This enclosure actually features a moat that is supposed to hold the animals in there. In the back we have a traditional fence, and actually inside of the moat is like this invisible fence, but I didn't want to make it too visible, so that's why it is covered with a lot of rocks. And this river sort of, or the moat, flows through several habitats that we'll see in the near future. But on the other hand side, I sort of have to think how I should do this tour not to miss anything, because on the other hand side we have another enclosure. This is the enclosure that I've built for the first episode alongside the entrance area. We have like the also canyon-like enclosure. This is a lot of enclosures are based on canyons, on things also that I saw during my visit to Arizona and stuff. So here we have the Sinoceratops and also the Archeo something mimus that I am always forgetting the name. So we have them here, and I really like it because you can sort of cannot see the back fence too much. We have the invisible fence in the in the front. This was actually the first time for me of using the invisible fences. I still didn't know how I feel about them, but here it looks quite nice because I can imagine that it would be hard for the dinos to cross this, even if the fence wasn't there. So this is what I sort of like. As you guys can see, I added, after we finished the last episode, I actually added a lot of benches and bins, because I just felt it is a bit weird that we have them in several like parts of our park, and the first parts or the first things that we've built are kind of missing them. This enclosure also features this. This is like the viewing gallery, but I sort of forgot when I've put like the entrance to it. What you can actually do is jump out of the first person mode and just to show you the view, because the view from here is pretty amazing. Just look at that. We can see the Alamosaurus, and in the back here is our ocean and some of the stuff that we already saw. So, okay, let's go back to the first person mode and let's continue with our tour. So we are now passing through this enclosure. Again, more Alamosaurus in the back. But on this side, we have like a sort of like a Chinese themed enclosure, because we have the Syntaosaurus, as you guys can see, and we also have the Chankingosaurus. Those are the dinos that are from China. Okay. Let's firstly go and see them, because this is still the same enclosure, so it's not the point of going into every viewing gallery. In here we have like a really cool viewing, like a main plaza with some of the viewing galleries for the Chinese enclosure that I just described. Also in here we have like a moat in front, and the dinos are somewhere in the back. Unfortunately, I don't think that we can see the Chankingosaurus anywhere. Oh, here is a tail. So maybe if we'll be quick enough and we'll just, hop into this one. Yes, here it is. I know that this is not a fan favorite. A lot of people just don't like the design of this dino, but I sort of like it. It is a smaller one. I like when they have like different sizes, so we can go for this variety of sizes inside of the enclosure. And yeah, this is the only aviary that we have in the park. I've built it right after the Dominion expansion was released, and I wanted to make a huge attraction out of it. That's why we have this huge plaza in here with a lot of shops, with some restaurants, and this huge aviary that features my favorite creature in this game, the Quetzalcoatlus that you guys can see right now. If you'll hop to this viewing gallery, you'll be able to see more of those. And this enclosure actually features the gyrosphere that you could see in the second ago. Let's go to this viewing gallery, because I think from this one you can see more. We have one back there, we have one flying, and there's also the Barybacterialis. Barry something. Barydactylus. Yes, Barydactylus. Yeah, that was the name. So two different flying reptiles. I think that they complement each other really nicely, and maybe let's just hop into the gyrosphere. Why not, to show you how it works. I was actually very surprised when I built this, because I learned that you can do stuff like this, that you can actually add the gyrosphere to the aviary, and it actually looks so amazing. Just look at that. Just imagine that we are actually a guest in here, and there's those flying prehistoric reptiles just flying over our heads. What I wanted to show you is that I created sort of like a canyon that the gyrosphere is going through. So here is our Quetzalcoatlus. And yeah, this is my favorite part, because you are like driving through this like canyon thing. And I remember when I did this, and when I did like my tour, there's a lot of Barybacterialis sitting there, and it looks so cool. Actually, some of them are flying in here. So yeah, really cool. I really like this idea, and I have to repeat something like that in the future. Okay, let's just jump out. Okay, right now we are just in the aviary, so let's just teleport ourselves from it, and let's continue this way. We saw the plaza, and now it is time to see another enclosure that also uses the same mode as the first one that we saw. And this is the enclosure for the Maiasaura, for the Amargasaurus, and this is, I believe, the Usaphapulus. You guys have to be patient with me when it comes to those, because let's just remind ourselves about the name. Euophocephalus. Oh my god, still. You are something, okay? But yeah, this enclosure is very similar to the one that we already saw. It is slightly smaller. I just wanted to use the dinos that I usually don't go for, just as the Maiasaura. I'm not a big fan of it. And also the Usaphapulus, because I just cannot pronounce this name. I am also not using. So yeah, this is this enclosure. We have a lovely Maiasaura just chilling here. And yeah, it is connected to another enclosure that we'll see in a second. But on the other side of this aviary, we actually have something really cool. We have like a, maybe not a plaza, just like a walkway in here. And we have like a small restaurant. And next to this restaurant, we have our zipline. And the zipline goes through a canyon. And this canyon is for the Camarasaurus. And this is the Nasutoceratops, and this is, I believe, the Sauropelta. So this is really cool. I've built this. I really like right after the update that featured the ziplines was released. So let's just fly over this habitat. Why not? Actually, this is just perfect because this is what I wanted. The guests are just zipping over the huge dinos, just as the Camarasaurus, and it looks amazing. Really love it. Okay. We are now on the other side, but we missed some parts, so we just will quickly run from here. Because we missed the enclosure for, actually not a dinosaur, but the Synapsid. Those are the Lystrosauruses. There's quite a lot of them, but they are so small that actually it is very hard to spot them. But this is also very realistic. I had recently been to Prague Zoo. I love this zoo, but there were some enclosures where I couldn't just find the animals. Here they are. They are so tiny, but they are so cute. I love those guys so much. So yeah, this is the Lystrosaurus enclosure. I've built this right after the Dominion expansion was actually released. So yeah, as you guys could see I think we weren't using so many of those, for example, small walls that came with the Dominion expansion back in this in the beginning of the park. But here we'll still be using a lot of things from the Dominion expansion, but because I thought it was just perfect for the theme, for the desert theme of this park. This enclosure is really cool because I combined the Therizinosaurus that you can see back there on the right hand side with the oviraptors. They can absolutely live together. They are the Therizinosaurus. I think the scavengers are the only dinos or only creatures that they can live with, that they like. So I use that, and yeah, we have the Therizinosaurus, still one of my favorite dinos in this game. It is in here. In the back, the guests are still zipping. It looks so nice. And we need to... Oh, here it is. Look. Maybe if we'll lose this viewing gallery right now. Yeah, the view would be nicer. There is another one, and there is the oviraptor in there. So this is our mixed enclosure. I was using for all of those. Maybe this is something that I forgot to mention. Of course, the desert rocks. But I still wanted to make some of those enclosures a bit more like lush, not so desert-like. Just because I believe that in a park like this, they would just use water to, to sort of water those plants to help them grow. because those animals simply need something to eat. Here we have the Diplodocus just next to the entrance, just next to the fence, and this enclosure is actually a mixed herbivore enclosure. Such a cool view! Oh my god! We have the this is the Diplodocus. That one is Nodosaurus, and we also have the Iguanodon that you can sort of see there in between the rocks, and also the Torosaurus, if I remember it correctly. And this enclosure also features the Jeep Safari, so it is sort of like a safari enclosure that I really like. Oh, this animation is so cool. And you can see the Jeep in the back. Okay, so we can also go here and see the other side of the Therizinosaurus habitat. I hate those viewing galleries, but the only reason that I use them is I think that they look so good in the desert map with those beige colors and stuff. But yeah, we have like a big plaza in here with some like seating for the guests and also some like toilets, restaurants and stuff. In the back there, we actually have like a little backstage area, but we just cannot go in there, I think. Let's just ride the track, why not? So we'll just do it quickly, maybe with this view, just to show you, because it goes in the back of the enclosure, so it sort of climbs in there, and I did like a elevated track for them, so the guests actually have this really cool view for the dinos when they are using the watering hole, when they are just spending their time next to the water. And yeah, so this is the enclosure. We can actually see the Iguanodon in the back finally. I used the Dominion version of the Iguanodon. This is not the one that I prefer, but I just wanted to use it once. Yeah, this is our Diplodocus. I just love them. I just really like those guys, and I don't think that they are like used much in this game. I didn't see players use them too many times. Our Nodosaurus is here. This is quite a big enclosure, as you guys can see. I remember that actually it took so much time because I was so particular with my rock placement and all those trees that I wanted to use in here so that the track actually looks nice. Just driving. Okay, let's just tell that we saw the entire thing, and let's just jump out next, like one more time to the first person mode. Of course, by the end of this tour, I will also do like the bird's eye tour so we can see the whole layout of the park better, because I know that sometimes it is so hard to just get where we are. We just came back. This is the Tyrannosaurus habitat. We can see the whole big safari in here, and now we'll use this path that goes through like a little petting zoo that we did. In here, the guests can also like chill a bit. This is like just a fountain area and stuff, but here they can also use the viewing gallery to see like the corner of the big safari enclosure. Okay, if you go in here, yeah, this is what I was a bit scared about that will happen, because I don't know why, but sometimes in those enclosures in here, the dinos are just escaping. So yeah, we have the Camarasaurus just on the loose. Hello. I hope you are enjoying your last moments of freedom, because I will catch you in a second. But yeah, we have the this is the Gigantospinosaurus, I think, on this side, and in here we have the Cretaceous and the Camarasaurus. Sorry, I just briefly stopped recording to capture the escaped dino. As you guys can see, it is already in the enclosure. But on this hand side, on the right hand side, I sort of missed one dino, because we have the Gigantospinosaurus and we also have the Huayangosaurus in here. So it is somewhere there. So yeah, two different kinds of dinos. We are now approaching, finally, I know that you guys are fans of those, the carnivore section of our park. So basically the left hand side is committed to herbivores and the right hand side is for the carnivores. And in here we have something really special. This is the high security area for the Indominus Rex. So this is like a sort of a main attraction of our park, and I really wanted to build a high security enclosure with a backstage, with the whole security measure things. So to go there, to go inside of the enclosure, they need to use, like the staff needs to use all those doors, fences, there's a lot of cameras, like lights and everything. There's like double fencing that you can use to go around the enclosure to check if everything is right and stuff. But yeah, somewhere there is our how is it called, the Indominus Rex, as you guys can see in the back. I wanted to go for this like deserty colors of this dino because it can camouflage, so I thought it would make sense. And yeah, this is the enclosure, very like, again, canyon-like, with more like a dry feeling, and I really love the background of the map and stuff. Let's just escape before we'll get eaten. Let's go out, and I will show you the view that our guests can get if they actually use their viewing galleries how they are supposed to. I made this thing. I actually thought that it would be cool for the guests, for example, to use this. Maybe this is like a little display about how the dinos were actually brought to life just in our Jurassic Park movie and stuff. On this hand side, you can actually see the concavenators. This is like a dry riverbed for them, and we will go back here in a second because I want to finish showing you the Indominus Rex, like the main attraction of our park. So I just thought it would be fun to use those viewing galleries. And we have sort of like an entrances for those. Unfortunately, as you guys know, it doesn't work like this. But yeah, we cannot actually click anywhere. So I'll just do it like this. This is the view for. Oops. This is the view for the Indominus Rex enclosure, and I really love it. This high security thing with a lot of those towers and cameras and stuff, and I need to build more of those in the future because I really like the vibe of this enclosure. Okay, let's just continue. Here's like a little plaza. I just thought that it is so long way to get there that the guests would just appreciate some, drinks or anything. We are still on a desert, so probably this would be just wise to drink from time to time. Okay, so in our carnivore section, we also have, for example, the Carcharodontosaurus. This is was the most requested dino by you for the series. A lot of people thought that it makes sense to add this in this like desert park, and I really agree with this. They have this really long enclosure. And actually on the right hand side, we have like a canyon, and this canyon is for the Utahraptors. So yeah, here we have our Carcharodontosauruses, and in here we have this really cool enclosure. Maybe not very realistic because of the invisible fence, but here's our Utahraptor enclosure with this cool looking canyon with those viewing towers in the back. It actually looks so cool. And yeah, I really love the Utahraptors, one of my favorites for sure. Will they do this really cool animation? Yes. I really like it. This roll is so cool. Okay, and on this side, you already saw a glimpse of the concavenator enclosure, and here it is. Maybe you'll be able, yes, to see some dinos, and here it is. I built this during the early access for the DLC where they were added, so of course I had to click on the wrong button. So I really love those enclosures because every time I get early access for anything related to this game, I'm so happy. So yeah, I just use my brain and to come up with something cool, and I think that those enclosures are some of the best in this park. What I also did when early access was built, this whole plaza in here is like circular with the new like benches that we got with the pins and stuff. So really cool stuff. So we have like another plaza in here with a new fountain in the middle. And this plaza is also like a viewing terrace for the Spinosaurus oasis that we have in here. This is a huge enclosure for 2 Spinosauruses with a viewing gallery in the middle. I don't know where they are, but they are hiding somewhere for sure. So let's continue and try to find them. In here we actually have our Troodons, so a smaller carnivore with a smaller enclosure, but still a lot of rocks, very like deserty looking. In here we have viewing galleries for the Spinosauruses. Here it is actually in the back, looking really cool, crossing the water. And in the back is something that we'll also see in a second. This is like the whole backstage area for our park. But yeah, this is how the enclosure look. What I of course forgot to mention at the beginning of the video is that this whole park will be available by the time as you guys are watching this on the Nexus to download. So I will probably pin a comment with the link to Nexus so you guys can go and download it and check it out yourself. Play with it, maybe rebuild it, maybe change the dinos, do whatever you want with it. But I would be just delighted if you guys will download it and just check it out yourselves, because it took so much time and effort to build, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay, so here you have this whole Spinosaurus enclosure. It is so big. In the middle here, it is like a circular enclosure for the Paracticus. You guys need to forgive me because I'm, as you guys know, not good with those names. I always forget them, and also it is so hard to pronounce for me this as a foreign speaking person. This is the Silophysis, a really easy name for me. So this is their enclosure. Again, a lot of rocks in the background, a lot of different plants just to cover the fences a bit. So this is how they look. Here we have a big plaza that is again connecting to the huge aviary that is in the middle. If we'll go this way, we can see some of the enclosures that we still haven't got the chance to see. For example, this another island for the Morus Intrepidus that you can see in the back. Really amazing. I really like this. There's another like fence in the back, but you can barely see this because of the different rocks. I remember rotating those rocks to make them look nice, and in the end I really think it looks nice, and I can actually imagine those dinos just use those rocks, jumping on them and, you know, just playing on them. That would be so cool. The Quetzalcoatlus is doing weird things in the background, but let's not pay too much of attention to that. I actually think that I missed one walkway, that's why I had to stop the video. There's a little very cool thing back there, and this is like a walkway between the Spinoceratops and the Atrociraptors that you will about to see in the second. There's actually one in the back. And this is the whole big backstage area of our park with a lot of staff buildings. I still wanted to make it nice. But using this like really modern theme from the Biosyn expansion, I think that it looks so cool on this desert map. It looks absolutely better from like the above, so this is what we'll see in the second. But yeah, the park has like a big backstage area, in case you guys wondered. I know that you probably wondered about this. I don't know what I am even talking about, but yeah, let's just continue with our trip because we still have 3 more enclosures, I think, only to see. So yeah, this is our Atrociraptor habitats. The Atrociraptors are sort of popular again because of the Chaos Sphere, right? So this is the one that I've also built after the Malta expansion was added, because I can clearly see that I was obsessed with those ruin stuff and I was adding them everywhere. So yeah, we have our Atrociraptors in here. Again, this and those enclosures, they use the fences, but I wanted to make the fence like not so in your face, so they are just hidden down there. And for the guests to see those dinos, they need to use those viewing galleries, but the fences are sort of like down so they don't interrupt the view so much. If we'll continue, here is the Chinese enclosure that we already saw with the Syntaosaurus that we can see. And here's another very cool and big enclosure with the Gigantosaurus or Gignatosaurus. I saw so many different pronunciation, or heard so many different pronunciation of the name of this dino. But I really wanted to use the Dominion skin for this because I really like it, although I don't know if it's fully realistic or not. But yeah, unfortunately it's a bit like the sun is not in the best position to view this, but this is a really cool enclosure. We can actually see this guy up close, so this is so cool. Actually, two of them in here. Yeah, this is their enclosure, really big, and I really like it. As you guys can see, I lined all the paths in this park with different decorations. Of course, I love using those concrete fences, as you guys probably know by now. But yeah, this park, again, I was trying to go for more like a zoo vibe, and I think that maybe I sort of achieved that. Of course, this is still a dino park, not a zoo. And in here we have the last enclosure that we are about to see, and this one is for the Australovenator. I don't know if any of those are next to the fence, but they are definitely somewhere there. Oh, here's one behind the rock, I think. I saw a tail for a second. But yeah, here are some of those for sure. I think not even like a whole herd, but they are all hidden somewhere. Again, this is so realistic. Maybe we'll be more lucky with this viewing gallery, like this viewing tower. Where are you? Where are they? Like, come on. I think there's like 6 of them or something. Oh, here's one. Here. Of course, you cannot see it because of this chain link fence, but yeah, there's also one sleeping. Maybe there's more of them sleeping. Okay, let's not just waste our time or for this, because I just wanted to finish the tour. There's one hotel in this park. I thought that maybe it's not the biggest park that we have, so I just added one. It has a view for this enclosure as well, so this is really cool. And of course, it has a view for the ocean and the San Diego in the back. And by using this path, we actually are going to the main street and to the entrance, so we basically saw the entire park. What we are about to do right now is just hop out of the first person mode to show you the whole finished park and how it looks. So yeah, we did basically this path. We just went through here, we saw those enclosures, the big herbivore enclosures. Here is the Sinoceratops enclosure, like a little Chinese enclosure. We have the big aviary, we have the Morus intrepidus in here, we have the canyon with the zip line, there is the Lystrosaurus, there is the Therinosaurus with the oviraptors, there's this like a big safari enclosure, our little petting zoo that leads to the Indominus Rex in here. And here's the whole carnivore section that we just saw with the Spinosaurus, with the Atrociraptors. Here is actually the backstage area of the park, and we have the last enclosures that we saw in here. And yeah, this is basically all. This is the whole Cretaceous Desert Park that I really loved building. I really loved all your guys' feedback. I think that many of you actually like this series, so I am very happy about this. And yeah, such a bittersweet moment, because it's so sad to just say goodbye to the series, but Still, I'm so happy that it is finally finished and it actually looks so good. I'm very happy with how it has turned out, and I really hope that you guys will enjoy checking it out yourself with the link that is down in the first pinned comment to the Nexus. You are now able to download it and use it on your own PCs. So this is so cool that you are actually able to do this. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think that what I will focus now is just to finish the prehistoric SeaWorld, and after this I will for sure start a new series in this game. So I just cannot wait for that, and I hope you guys are excited. If you enjoyed the video and you like the stuff that I do in this game, please consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video like this. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and of course leave me a nice comment. Tell me what you think about the park. Which enclosure is your favorite? Do you have any suggestions for my future parks, and so on. If you guys would like to support the channel a little bit extra, you can do it with the join button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!